Hey guys, it is Crochet and this will be my very first tutorial for this channel of mine. So I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late because as you guys know, I'm in Florida. My family is okay. Our property is okay. We have not had any floods in our area. We were one of the lucky ones and we do have power. So now that the hurricane's gone, everything is back to normal pretty much for us at least. So anyways, back to the tutorial. So I'm going to call this the holiday gift pouch. I was actually inspired by this particular pouch that I've had for a few years now. And I actually use this for, putting my chapstick, my nameplate, every little stuff like pens that we all, us women, we put so many things in those little pockets in our purses, and then you try to find something in particular and you got to look at all the pockets just to find it. I couldn't stand that anymore, so I put everything in here, and I can just open this and I can easily find whatever I need, and it's cute. So this is just an idea so that you guys can try for yourself if you want, because trust me, it's much more convenient than putting all those little things in all those little pockets in your bag. But anyways, so I wanted to make a pouch just like that one, but in the crochet form with ruffles. Now I've had, it took me 3 times to figure out how to come up with a perfect ruffle, and I finally did. So I failed like 3 times. So you can use this pouch for any type. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be for birthdays, anniversaries, and whatnot. So the yarn that I use is cotton yarn. These are Lily and Sugar, or I don't know why I say Lily and Sugar. It's Lily, Sugar, and Cream. They should definitely change their company to Lily and Sugar. I think that sounds a lot better. But anyways, don't want to get off topic. So this is the Christmas, I don't know if what they call it. I don't know if it's Christmas or holiday, but this is the yarn that I'm going to be using in this video. And this is the same brand, but in red for the ruffles. So I recommend cotton because if you want to reuse this, especially if you're going to keep it within the family, like for Christmas, you're going to use it to put whatever gift can fit in these pouches. It's better to use cotton so you can wash them, reuse them, and so forth. Or especially when you give it to another person as a gift, that person will, wash it and reuse it, or re-gift it, I should say, to another person, and so forth. So, because wrapping paper is a little boring sometimes, and it's just nice to have something different to wrap a gift in. So other materials that you need is the 4mm hook, crochet hook, and then a tapestry needle, of course, scissors, of course, and this is optional, but when we get to that point, I'll explain why. So also 2 stitch markers, that's optional. And then this is another optional item, is wooden beads, or you can even use pony beads if you want to do this type of string pouch. But when we get to that point, I can discuss other ways to do the string. Okay, so we're gonna go with this size just for this video. This is actually a pretty close size of this one, so I'm really happy with this one because that's what I was going for. So you can, the beauty of this pattern is you can make it any size you want. You can make it as long or as wide and so forth. So let's get this started. So the first thing you're gonna do is, of course, a slip knot. And you're going to chain 60. So I'm just going to do the first 3 and then with you guys, and then I'll come back to you guys for the next step. Okay, so you have your chain 60. Now we're going to do a half double in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do the back loops. And the reason why we're going to do the back loops only is because we want the edge to look nice on the bag. So you're going to do half doubles all the way down the chain, and I will come back for the next step. Okay, now you should have 59 plus the 2 chain at the end. So these 2 chains, because on each side we will be continuing 2 chains. Those chains are going to be considered stitches. So technically you should have a total of 60. Okay, so now that was row 1. We're going on row 2. You're going to chain 2. Turn your work. You're going to put 1 half double in the first, and then another half double in the second. Now you're going to chain 2 and put a half double in the third chain. Whoops, sorry guys. And then you'll keep going down the row, half doubles, and your last half double will be the 5th or the 5th stitch from the last. And I'll come back for the next step. Okay, so you should have the last 4 chains here. Now, I just realized I told you guys we did a chain 2 here. I know that's not a chain 2, so sorry about that, but that will be included as a stitch. So we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to put a half double in the third chain, and another half double in the very last chain. Okay, so the middle part should be 51 stitches, and the ends should have 2. So now we're going to go into row 3, so chain 2, turn your work. So now we're going to put half doubles through the whole row, but let me show you what you're going to do in this area here. So half double in the first. Make sure you put a half double in the hidden chains here on this one and this one here. And then in the hole, we're going to put only 1. And then, like I said, we're going to put a half double in the second hidden chain. So you're going to do half double all the way down, and we'll come back to this next part. Okay, you should be in the stitch before the hidden stitch. So we're going to put, again, a half double in the hidden stitch here. One half double in the hole. Another half double in the hidden stitch, the last hidden stitch. And then 2 half doubles in the next or last 2 holes. So this is going to be the repeat for the whole pouch. So we're going to do a total of 17 rows. So we already did 3. You're going to do another 14. Now, how to easily remember which row is which row is which. The odd numbers are the ones with all half doubles. And the even number rows will have the 2 holes at the end. So I will meet you back when you guys are done with your 17th row. Okay, so you guys should be done with your 17th row. Make sure you fasten off, weave in your ends, including the beginning end. And then I already did my first ruffle, so I don't extend the time on this video. So I'm going to do my second ruffle with you guys on how to make this ruffle. Okay, so you're going to get your second color or the same yarn if you want. And we're going to do a slip knot. And we're going to chain 48. And I will come back for the next step. Okay, now that you guys have your chain of 48, we're going to do a half double in the second chain from the hook, excuse me. Sorry, guys. So we're going to half double where the front chain is. So the edge of the ruffle will look nice, just like this one here. Okay. So you're going to do half double in the front chain all the way down, and we'll come back for the next step. Okay, so you should have 48 stitches. So now we're going to chain 3. Turn our work. We're going to now we're done with the half doubles. We're going to be doing double crochet in this final row. So we're going to put a double crochet in this first stitch. So the next stitch, we're going to be doing 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then the next stitch, we're going to be doing 2 double crochets. 1, 2. So that's going to be the pattern throughout the whole row, is 3 doubles, 2 doubles, 3 doubles, 2 double crochets. And you should end with a 3 double, and you're going to stop before the last stitch. Okay? So I know it's a little short compared to what you see here, but trust me, the more double crochets you add, the more it's going to start stretching just a little bit for us to be able to stitch it on the pouch itself. And another note is it will naturally, as you keep working, it's going to naturally spiral, okay? Don't freak out. It's normal, and that will be corrected when we start stitching. So I will see you in the next step. Make sure you stop before the last stitch. Okay, so you guys should be on your very last stitch. So on this very last stitch here, we're gonna put 1 double crochet. Okay, so the total of double crochet stitches that you should have is 116. Okay, so now, so for those of you who of course are on your first ruffle, you don't have to fasten off right away. You can actually, if you measure out about 24 inches, which should be enough to do both, and then cut it off, and you can just fasten and then weave the long end to the yarn is sticking out. This will be the front part, okay, the nice side of the double crochet. So you want your long piece of yarn to stick out in the back part, and that's where you're going to start your hand stitching. But for me, since I have leftover red yarn, I don't want to waste this, so I'm just going to fasten off mine. Okay, so now we're going to start, and don't worry about this end here. Once we're done hand stitching the ruffle, I'll show you how to deal with that part. So make sure the ruffle is facing, of course, the nice side up, but it's also facing outwards. Okay. Now, when you guys are on your second ruffle and you're going to use your excess yarn to sew the second one, the first thing you're going to do is create a slip knot here. And then just leave it for now, and I'll show you what to do with that. So our first placement, we're going to do the 5th row, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5th row here that has no hole, okay? And I try to keep the the beginning and end of the ruffle away from the hole so it doesn't cover it. So I start below the first 2 stitches. So in the 3rd hole, let me see. So I would probably, let me see what I did. Did I do the 3rd hole? Yeah, so it'll be the 3rd hole in the 5th row here. So these big holes here that you see, that's where we're going to start stitching. So like I said, in the 3rd hole in the 5th row. And then you're going to start from the inside. So where is, okay. And then you're going to pierce the corner of the ruffle. And then you're going to go, so this is how we're going to hand stitch it. So we're going to follow these holes right here in the half doubles, these top holes here, okay? You're going to put a stitch in between each half double. So in and out, in and out, in and out. But I'll show you the first few, okay? So, and make sure, and this is why I crocheted horizontally, so you can easily follow the line as you're doing your hand stitching. So as you see here, there's my end, so you're gonna go into the next hole here. Oh, it's because of my knot. I think my knot is too big. It doesn't want to go through. Crap. Okay. Let me redo this part. I'll be right back. Okay, never mind. I didn't have to start over. So if you do what I do, if you believe your yarn is not going to be long enough to hand stitch the ruffle and you tie a knot between the two, make sure it goes through one of the big holes that I was explaining, because that's what happened. I didn't put it in one of the big holes. I thought I did. So, okay. So like I said, oh, sorry guys. So you're going to go in between each half double. So this is where, oh, gotta do my slip stitch again. Okay, so this is where the slip stitch is going to be useful. So you're going to put your needle through. And of course, oh my gosh. Guys, as you know, I try to do, this is my first tutorial. Well, actually, not technically not, but my first tutorial in this, for this YouTube channel. And I'm going to just be real, okay? Because sometimes it happens. It's not perfect. I don't like to edit videos. I mean, of course, I'm going to edit this video a little bit, but I try to just keep it real, you know? It's okay. It's okay. We all make mistakes. So anyways, you put the needle through the slip knot, and then you're going to pull. And the slip knot is actually going to help tighten the first, see, when you pull it, it's going to tighten it. And then you can continue hand stitching. So now you're going to go into the next hole. And like I said, above, at the top part here, but in between the half doubles. Pull through into the next hole. And just keep following this line in the 5th row. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to meet you when you're done with both ruffles. We'll go to the next step, which is seaming the pouch. Okay, so you should be on your last stitch here, your yarn sticking out here in the corner. So what I do with this end here is I just tuck it underneath, and then I'm going to stitch the corner probably like 3 times in different areas. Just make sure the corner is really stitched well. And then I'm going to weave my ends here. Okay. So now the yarn that you tucked in, you can just snip off most of it. And it's going to be hidden anyways in this little ruffle here. Okay, once you guys are done with your second ruffle, we're going to start doing the seam now. So, after you're done with your second ruffle, now this is where your stitch markers are going to come in. This is optional. You don't have to do this, but to me, it helps me align this pouch here. And I forgot to mention, if you do the slip knot method when it comes to the hand stitching, you can weave this in if you want, but I just snip a little bit off because they're not going to really see the inside of the pouch anyways. Okay, so now we're going to align the holes here and align this. So when we do the seam, we're not going to do all the way up, okay? We're going to actually stop right beneath the hole. So I'm going to put my stitch marker right here. So it should be the 5th stitch at the top. Okay, so the 5th stitch down from the top. You're going to put your stitch marker. And the same on the other side. Now this side's going to be a little tricky because of this little nub here. So just do your best. Okay, so I'm going to count this little nub here as 1. So, oh, here. So you can see the very first chain that we did when we started doing the chain. 1, 2, 3. And the 5th. Yep. Okay. So now that we got that aligned, we're going to go back to our main yarn. Now, I'm not sure this is the slip stitch because the way I'm doing it doesn't really look like a slip stitch. I think it's called a V-stitch in the sewing world. I'm not sure. but you'll see when I show you. So you're gonna make sure you have a tail that's about an inch and a half, at least an inch, for you to be able to weave it through. So, okay. And make sure this is perfectly aligned because you don't want to mess up your pouch. So as you can see here, there's one chain that's right smack in the middle. So disregard that. We're going to go into the two chains that are aligned or parallel together. So you're going to put your hook through. Now, I recommend that you start on the side where we did our 60 chain because it is a little tight. It's going to take a little bit longer compared to the other side. And take your time as well. You don't need to rush. Okay, so my hook is through. I'm going to pull my yarn through. Okay. And then you're going to go into the next two chains above it. Okay. And then you're going to yarn over again and pull through. And it should make a little V there. I'm going to do it one more time. So you have a little loop there from your previous. And that's why I said take your time, because I have to say this side here is a little tricky, especially when you're right-handed. And like I said, since it's tight, my yarn is in disarray, but I'm just going to keep going. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back and correct it. So, okay, you're going to go to the next chains above. Yarn over, pull through, and there. So you see there's two V stitches there. So you're going to do that all the way up until you get to your stitch marker. You're going to put one where your stitch marker was. And then, like I said, this side is a lot easier. The stitches are not as tight. And you're going to just do the same thing, okay? And then I'll meet you up when it comes to the drawstrings. Okay, so before I go into the strings itself, your seam should look like this. What it reminds me of is like the backing of a Tunisian project. And I like how thick and nice it just looks. So that's why I went with this stitch here. But you can do any type of stitch that you want. So the part that I wanted to show you, since this is, I consider this side the front, where you see the V stitch. This is the front side, this will be the back. So I just go back into, when it comes to the last, when you finish off, you go back into the same hole and then weave in your yarn. And then the same thing here, since it's already in the back, you'll just weave it in the back side. and I'll come back later and we'll do the strings. Okay, so before we get into the strings, I forgot to explain to you why we stopped right here. Now it's up to you. When you do make another one, you can stitch it all the way up if you prefer that. But the reason why I left a little bit open on the tops is because when you want to put something in, or when the person is opening up, there's a little bit more leeway to open up the pouch. So now we're gonna get into, I use my main color, but you can use your second color you want, or you can use, like, if it's like if you used a variegated yarn like I did, you can use the green or whatever color is in your variegated. It's up to you what you want to do with your string. So there's two different ways that you can do a string pouch. So the one that I'm going to do is, it's a double string pouch where you pull the strings to the sides. Now, the other one that's like faster and quick, you'll be done with it, is just one string and it'll be right here, and the two strings will stick out right here in the front instead of the side. But it's up to you how you want to do that. Now, if you do the one string, make sure you double it, because these holes are pretty big. Because the skinny string looks a little weird. So that's why I decided to do the double strings, because if they're skinny, you might as well just have the side string method instead. But like I said, it's up to you how you want to do that. Okay, so slip knot, and you're gonna chain. Now, if you do the double string, chain 80. You're gonna have two strings, chain 80. If you're gonna do one string, I would recommend probably between 90 and 100 chains. So in this video, we're going to do two strings, chain 80, and we'll be back on how to set up the beads and so forth. Okay, now you guys should have completed your two strings of 80 chains. So just leave it like this for now. When you just leave the fasten off like that for now. So we're gonna weave our strings. So make sure when you start, you want to start outside. So you're gonna in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So out on both sides. Okay, so your string should be on the outside, both sides. And then just leave about 2 inches on one end. So now you're going to go around. Same thing, our string is going to be on the outside. So it's going to be in, out, in, out. Okay, so it should look like that, and your strings should be on the outside, okay? So now we're gonna do the other string. But this time we're going to be on the opposite side. So same thing, start off on the outside. In, out. And you're going to be above the string that you did first. Same thing, leave about 2 inches or so, or at least 1.5 inches. Okay, same thing, go around, in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay, so now it should look like this. You should have 2 strings on each end. Now, like I said before in the beginning of the video, this part is optional. You can just tie it off, tie the 2 strings together into a knot, and be done with it. But I just like to add some stuff so it looks a little bit nicer. Now, you don't have to use wooden beads like I am. You can use pony beads if you want. You can use any type of bead. It's up to you. So just make sure the bead that you do use is going to fit 2 strings in it. That's why I like my wooden beads, because it's a really big hole. So you're going to put both of your strings into the bead, and this is how you're going to knot it. Into one big knot. And make sure you really tighten it so it doesn't come undone. And then what I do is I just snip like halfway through. And you will get some strings that are loosened up, so you can take those out, like this one here. And then those are like in a loop, just cut in between. But yeah, you can trim it a little bit, you know, give it a little haircut here and there, you know, make it, you know, look even. It's up to you how you want to do it. So you're going to do the same thing on the other side if you're adding a bead, and we'll show the final product. All right, so your pouch should be completed. It should look like this. Now you can manipulate the ruffles to make it more, you know, add more ruffles in it and so forth. So love it, love it, love it, love it. And like I said, you don't have to use this for Christmas. You can use this for any other occasion, birthdays, anniversaries. And you don't have to use cotton yarn. I just recommend you do. You can use acrylic if you want. You can use any type of yarn. So there you go. And like I said before, if depending on your gift, make sure if it's long, add more chains. If it's wide, really wide, add more rows. So I just thought the ruffles just look so cute. So you don't have to add ruffles on this if you don't want to. It's still a cute pouch without it. So I hope you guys enjoy this, my first tutorial. I'm really happy because this is my second time doing this video. And I'm glad that it's a little bit better than my first draft video, I guess. So please subscribe to my channel if you want more tutorials in the future. Comment below if you love this, if you don't. And I just want to apologize again. I have this contraption that holds my phone, and I know there was probably like 4 or 5 times in this video I bumped into my contraption. So I will, the next time I do a tutorial, I'm going to position it in a different way where I don't bump into it. So I do apologize about that. So anyways, yeah, subscribe, comment, like, share. Please share this pattern. So this is my own pattern. I will be doing a written pattern. Hopefully I can put that in the link to the pattern in the description box once I'm completely done and upload it. I don't know how yet. I don't know where yet. I might have to do Ravelry. I'm not sure. But I'm going to try and get that up by Saturday night. Just keep checking this video if you're one of those people that prefer written patterns. Because maybe I might put in description box earlier than Saturday night, but I will definitely put in description box by then. So anyways, thanks guys for watching my tutorial and have fun. And I do have an Instagram as well. It's Kudo Crochet. So if you want to like tag me, you know, if you want to take photos of your holiday gift pouches so I can see how it came out. I don't have any photos on my Instagram yet. I will soon. Probably this will be the first one. But anyways, yeah, you can tag me, Kudo Crochet, and hopefully I can see your beautiful creation. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.